ourselves in order for us to find ourselves. And I was not ready to lose my mother. I just needed her too much, and I just loved her too much. So I kept it a secret. I didn't tell her for years. And our relationship definitely took a hit. It was a strain on our relationship because I'm from Buffalo, so I would just go back and forth, just visit like 4 or 5 times a year. I stayed for a week at a time, but during these years, I would only go home maybe once, to stay for a couple of days, and it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't sustainable, particularly because now my transition is progressing, and now it's time for me to have surgery, and I still had no plans to tell her. And my girlfriend at the time looked at me and she said, "You are crazy. You and your mother are best friends. You talk to her every day. She's a nurse. She will never forgive you if you don't tell her that you are about to have major surgery." So I was like, all right, I'm gonna tell her. So one day I call her. I said, "Mommy," she said, "What's up?" I said, "I got something to tell you." She said, "What is it?" And this is exactly how it came out to her. I said, "Ma, I am having a double mastectomy and chest reconstruction. I'm a man." She said, "What the So she's like hyperventilating on the phone, right? So I said, "Listen, Mommy, I'm having surgery, and I'm having surgery in 3 days. And I would love you to be here for me, but if you can't, I understand." And she said, "Just get off my phone and let me think. Just get off my phone." Click, and she hung up on me. And she hung up. And I didn't hear from her. So the day of my surgery comes around, and I'm all prepped, ready for surgery, getting ready to get wheeled in. The door opens up, and guess who it is? It's my mom, Miss Mary. And here she comes, and she has this plush Ralph Lauren robe. And she has a jar full of chocolates covered in blue foil. And she has a little blue plush little teddy bear for me. And she was there with me the entire time I was in surgery and during recovery. So I got discharged, and we go back to her favorite hotel, which is the Marriott Marquis here in Times Square. And we're kind of just hanging out in the hotel room, and I look over, and she's crying. And I said, "Ma, why are you crying?" And she said, "Because it feels like my daughter died." And that was one of the hardest things I've ever heard. But I understood it because my transition wasn't just mine alone. I went from being a daughter to a son. I went from being the little sister to the baby brother, from the favorite auntie to the favorite uncle. So I grabbed my mother's hand and I looked in her eyes and I said, "Mommy, I'm yours and you're still mine. And everything that you've taught me and all the memories that we have made as mother and daughter have informed me and fortified me as the man that I am today."